everybody, welcome to Poems with PJ. It's day 14, so for those of you that have been joining us from the start, thank you so much for coming back. It's been a pleasure having your company for the previous 13 days, and I know that lots of you this afternoon are joining us for the first time because today is a very special event indeed. We are doing something a little bit different this afternoon. This afternoon we are a Wibbly world of wobbly words. Yes, what we're going to do is we are going to try and bring as many people as we possibly can together. And during the course of this Facebook Live, which is live streaming now, what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and get all of your ideas. We need you to put your thinking caps on, just like I have my performing hat on right this second. And what we would like you to do is we would like you to send us your words in the comments underneath the video. So you need to watch carefully, listen carefully, and I'm going to be asking you for some really important information later on. And what we're going to be doing is then putting all those words up here on the board and bit by bit starting to build a brand new poem. All of us working together. Now that's the plan for today because of course we're all spread out all over the world, and we know from inviting people that there are some people that have been invited that are in America, some people that are in faraway places in Europe, there's somebody in Australia that's going to be watching this afternoon. So bit by bit we're going to be using people from all over the world to come together. Now the first thing that you can do this afternoon is you can share this post so that we can get as many people as we possibly can. So I'm going to stop for about 5 seconds. I'm going to give you the chance to go and press some buttons on your screen. There's a bit that says, do you want to start a watch party? If you start a watch party, then that means all of the people that you're friends with already, they'll get the chance to see it as well. And of course, they'll get the chance to tell their friends, and they'll get the chance to tell their friends, and soon we'll have everybody in the entire world all watching this tiny little screen at the same time. And that's what we would like you to do now. So the more that you can do that, the more all the way through the broadcast, that means that we can get more and more people involved in this. So during this first poem, I'm going to start us off with a quick poem. What I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to use your thinking brains underneath your performing hats. And I would like you, please, to think of all of the colours that you can. All right? And then what we will ask you to do is, if you are a grown-up, just press the buttons and tell us what those colours are you're thinking of. And if you are a smaller person who's not in charge of the buttons, then tell the person who's in charge of the buttons, say, press some buttons. Tell him what my favourite colour is. So we want all of the colours that you can possibly think of. And you've got all the time that it takes me to perform this first poem to think of them. Now, the first poem, I thought today that we do some tried and tested standards, ones that I really love performing in assemblies when I go to schools. And the first one is called Wibbly Wobbly Words. Because sometimes I talk in nonsense. I'll talk in wobbly wibbles. I'll open up my mouth, but what comes out is bobbly bibbles. The people round me, they look around with unbelieving faces as I just waffle, squab and squib in open public places. And someone tried to stop me once from babbling round the town, but I just shouted loudly, nibble nobble, double down. Because it seems my daffy wordage is a popper-stopping wham. So maybe I should teach you all to be a bit more splam. Because speaking wob in waffleage is really rather fun. And it's smiley-piley-pibblage. And it's dibble, double, hum. So that was our first poem of the day, and it was called Wibbly Wobbly Words, which was, I thought, perfect for today because it is a wibbly wobbly world of words. And I know already that we've got lots of you that are sending in your ideas. You've already started to send us your colours. We're going to be using those in just a moment. It's going to be, first of all, I'm going to show you about this board. Now I'm going to take this away. We've got this bit here. So that was there to remind me what today was called, because sometimes my memory is a little strange and I forget things. I'm also going to do something else before I turn to my board. I'm going to take off my hat. And you might be thinking, well, why is he taking off his hat? And that's because at the moment, this is my performing hat. But I'm not going to be performing just now. I'm going to be writing. A writer and a performer will probably think very differently when they're writing something new. So I'm going to put my performing hat here by my side so I don't lose it. and I'm going to turn instead to being a writer. And I'm going to look at my board. And it reminds me, when I look at my blank board, I wonder what it's like being a writer. And you're probably thinking, I wonder how writers get their ideas in the first place. Well, this always reminds me of a very famous writer called J.K. Rowling. Now, you've probably heard of J.K. Rowling. Who do you think J.K. Rowling was? Shout it out nice and loud for me. Yes, that's right. Of course, we know J.K. Rowling is the lady that wrote Harry Potter. What an amazing story she put together. But she said something amazing once about a whiteboard like this. She said the best thing about being a writer is that you wake up every day to a blank piece of paper, which I thought was amazing, because I could write anything on this blank piece of paper. I could write a story on here. I could write a song on here. I could write a poem on here. For those of you that are in year 5 or 6, I could write a non-chronological report on here, because everybody would choose to write a non-chronological report if they wanted to. Maybe. But she also said this: the most frightening thing about being a writer is that you wake up every day to a blank piece of paper. And I got a little bit confused at that point, because I thought, hold on a minute, JK, you said a minute ago that it was the best thing about being a writer. Now, it's the most frightening thing about being a writer. Well, she was right in both ways. Because when we look at a blank piece of paper, we think, wow, I can do anything. And then you think, but I don't know where to start. And that's exactly where we are now. But the good news is that we do know where to start, because you have been sending us your fantastic ideas. Because I asked you to come up with some new colours that we could fill up our board with. So I'm going to go through. So those of you that have been watching at home, Kelly, thank you very much. Right, you have chosen my favourite colour to start with. Thank you very much, Kelly. You have chosen the colour pink. Oh, I do like a little bit of pink. That's good. Excellent starting there. So we've got some pink to get us going. Now, Zoe, I think you've obviously got 2 people with you, because you've got 2 colours for us. Right, so you've chosen both blue and green. Very nice colours. The colours of the sea, I think, that you've got there. You're obviously thinking in a very kind of sea way this afternoon. Maybe we can have a nice watery poem. Maybe it'll all come together. Now, who's that? Matilda. Hello, Matilda. How are you doing? Right, thank you for tuning in this afternoon. Well, you've chosen purple. That's pretty cool. Right, let's have a look at purple. We'll put purple up here on the board. That's very nice there. Put a bit of purple. Now, purple is one of those colours that poets don't usually use very much. The reason they don't use purple very much is because it doesn't rhyme with anything. How weird is that? You can't rhyme purple with anything. Think about it. Purple, schmurple, burple, lurple. They're not real words. Maybe we'll have to make up some words later on. Now, Alison's been in contact. Hello, Alison. How are you doing? It's been a while since I've seen you, Alison. How are you doing? Right, so Alison, black. Ooh, maybe it's going to be a very dark poem, a very spooky poem. We'll have to see what's going on. Black. Very nice. We've got a bit of black, the colour of my pen, in fact. So we've got black there. Terry, hello. Thank you very much for getting in contact, Terry. We've got yellow coming from you. A very mellow yellow for a Friday afternoon. That's pretty cool. So we've got lots of colours coming through here. Oh, here we go. Maria, now you've gone for a shade of a colour. That's very clever. You've gone for cream. Maria's gone for cream. Let's have a look here. So we've got cream coming up here. What a brilliant idea. So it's not white, it's cream. And then last off, Thomas, thank you very much for whoever's sent that to us. Thomas, you've gone for the other colour that poets, oh, they get worried about this colour. It's this one. It's just like purple. Orange. Orange! Borange, lorange, morange, sorange. There isn't anything that I can think of to rhyme with orange. I'm going to have to think carefully about these, about where I put them in the poem, if I'm going to make my poem rhyme. I'll get back to you on that one. Well, thank you very much for sharing all those brilliant words. I'm going to set you another task now. I'm going to put my writing pen down, and I'm going to put my performing hat back on in a second. What we're going to do is, while I'm performing the next poem, I need you to put your thinking hats and your performing hats back on. Okay? Now I'm prepared, and my ears are poking out to the side like they're aeroplanes. All right? you now need to think of as many different animals as you can. All right? We're going to see if we can now fill up, as well as colours, we're going to fill up our board with animals. Okay, and you're going to do that while I'm doing this next poem. And this next poem is one that I did a few weeks back on Poems with PJ. All right, and this is about a time about some animals, and particularly about the smell of some animals. Okay, and it was a favourite one the other week when we did it, so I thought it would be a good one to do today for all the new people that haven't been on before. So, this one is called Zoo Poo. One half-term, my mum declared, we're going to the zoo. What a treat. A grand day out. Oh, what a thing to do. We were so excited. We had sing-songs in the car. We're going to the zoo. We sang. The journey, it wasn't far. We got there. We all piled out, and then we entered in with glee and noticed almost straight away the whole place smelt of wee. Whew. But never mind, we carried on. There was so much to do. Discovering the natural world, which whiffed a bit of poo. Oh, it didn't matter where we went. The breed, the type, the species. Every single step we took, we got the whiff of feces. It was like the plop was tracking us. The poop was on our tail. The number 1s and 2s, they'd find our noses without fail. My sister, she couldn't handle it. She said it made her sick. I could see where she was coming from. The stench was pretty thick. It was almost like the animals polluting our fresh air were happy with their flatulence and pumping without care. I asked my mum about it, but she said, well, that's what they do. It's only what you should expect when going to the zoo. But I think they should freshen up and change their stinky ways and cease this nasty, pongy, pooey, dodgy odour craze. And that was called Zoo Poo. So now, I know that while we've been doing that poem, because we've seen all of these little comments springing up in front of us, that you have been busy thinking of all the animals that you possibly can. And we are going to add some of those animals to our word wall up here. I like to call this a splurge. A splurge of ideas. All the ideas coming out of our heads, landing on the board over here. And so, let's have a look and see one of the ones, some of them you've come up with. Terry, a tiger. Very good. And there's a programme about tigers that grown-ups are watching a lot at the moment. I think you're probably thinking of those tigers. Kelly, a lion. We've gone for the big cats to start with there. Excellent. A roaring lion. Charlie. Hello, Charlie. An otter. An otter. Well, it's getting otter in here. Is that what it is? It's because the sun's come out. Oh, you mean the other kind of otter. It's that kind of otter. Very nice. Now, who's that? Is it Mel? You've come up with an octopus. Excellent. An octopus. An octopus with 8 tentacles. Ha 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 ha. Very nice. Matilda. Now, we did a poem earlier in the week all about penguins. Look, we've got a penguin hiding back here, Matilda. There it is. All right. So, we've got a penguin that we can have here. And what else is there? We've got penguins. Maria, a giraffe. Oh, now that's where I live, up in the northwest of England, where everybody starts like this, right? And every time I go to a school, everybody always says giraffe, right? So that giraffe is always one that comes up in schools. That's a brilliant one to choose, Maria. Okay, what have we got next? We've got there. Oh, Josh. Very nice. You know what, Josh? Nobody ever chooses pigeon. I always think pigeons, they always get forgotten about. So we've got a pigeon there. And what else have we got coming next? We've got Emma has said a cat. And Alison, very nice. A monkey, very nice. Now, I don't know if you know or not, we've got one of those in the house. Not a monkey, we've got a cat. Sometimes he comes through in the middle of our show and you never know, we might get a special treat this afternoon. Now, Zoe, you've got 2 again. I think that's because you've got 2 people with you. And which ones were they? Oh, here we go. We've got 2 of them. A hamster, which I can imagine you've got in your house. And then a unicorn, which I don't think you've got in your house. So I don't think anybody has got a unicorn in their house. I've got a unicorn in my house. My unicorn is right here, haven't I? Yes, and my unicorn's always nodding along. What else have I got here? We've got Anna and Anthony. You've got a donkey. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Anna and Anthony. Very good. I'll put that there. And then we've got two more. We've got a rhino coming from Amy, by the looks of it. And then last off, a panda from Kian. Well, that's absolutely fantastico. What a great set of animals. My goodness, we've almost got a whole zoo there. There's so many ideas. Well, those were all brilliant ideas. And now, inspired by our unicorn, we're going to have another poem. I forgot to take off my performing hat. In the middle of doing that, I was writing with my performing hat on. It's very strange indeed. I don't usually do that. I'm going to keep my performing hat on because I'm going to perform another poem. But while I'm doing that, you've got your last task of the afternoon. What I would like you to do, I would like you, please, to think, just like this. I would like you to think of some activities. Things that people can do. Stuff that you might do in the house, or when we're allowed back outside, what things you could do outside, things that you can do with friends, things that you can do on your own. Whatever it is, suggest something that you can do. Okay? So when somebody says, what should I do? You say, well, you could do swimming, or you could do writing, or you could do dancing, but think of your ideas. So things that you can do. And you've got the time that it takes me to tell you the tale of Sir Fabulous to do that. Now, this is a tale all about a knight, a brave and clever knight, and he's called Sir Fabulous. But he's not a knight like you would usually expect. Sir Fabulous, an ancient knight, a brave and clever gent, who brought a smile to all he knew, most every place he went. A trusted man, with honour, upon a noble steed, a medieval superstar, a hero born to lead. But Fabulous was different to his other knightly friends. He stood out from the crowd and bucked the other knightly trends. For his colleagues, they rode on horseback throughout the castle grounds, striding through on stallions. They galloped all around. But the steed of choice for Fabulous, to mount upon each morn, a sparkling equine miracle, a magic unicorn. With a coat of white and silver hooves, she swept into the court, a prancing, dancing creature who never gave a thought to skipping into danger. This creature was no quitter, escorting mighty Fabulous, both head to foot in glitter. For Fabulous was fabulous, and everybody knew to look out for his rainbow trail. And he made the crowd go, ooh! And he made the crowd go, ah! And then they get a cheer. And then he raised his tankard, filled with cocktails, never beer. And he raised his shield aloft, a golden plated piece of armour. And he wowed the crowd with stories, brave Sir Fabulous, the charmer. And night to night throughout the land, the people all regaled at sequin-clad adventures and sparkling fairy tales. Sir Fabulous, he knew just how to bring about a smile, defeating villains every day, but doing it with style. And that was the tale of Sir Fabulous, a very different kind of knight. And that's one of the things I love about writing, is that you can be writing things and everyone thinks, oh, I know all about this. I understand about knights. But you don't actually understand about knights that ride unicorns or are dressed in glitter, who have sparkly clothes and magic in their fingertips. Well, that was the tale of Sir Fabulous. Now, you have been coming up with all sorts of fantastic ideas here, and I asked you for brilliant activities that we could have. I'm going to take a little sip of my tea, all right, because I'm getting very, very dry in the mouth. Very nice in my Captain Marvel mug. Now, I've been drinking my tea, that's an activity, but what activities have you given me for our board up here? My goodness, there's so many of them. Oh, Terry and Zoe, right, archery. And, oh my goodness, you could play war games. Oh my goodness, this could be a very dark poem, couldn't it, if we had war games in there? I wonder what that is. Right, Maria, hula-ing. Okay, right. Maria's got hula. I almost wrote Maria then. Right, hula-ing. I don't even know if that's how you spell it. Do I mind if that's how you spell it? I don't mind. Right, Alison, we've got hide and seek, You could play hide and seek. That won't help us with writing the poem. If I play hide and seek, you won't be able to see me. Hide and seek and, bike riding. You could ride on your bike. Fantastic. Excellent. Amy, sardines. Oh, what a great... That could come in the animals as well, couldn't it? Sardines. All right. Sardines, I don't know if you've ever played that before. It's when as many people as possible try and squish in a very, very small space. Except we're not allowed to play that anymore because we've got to be a long distance from each other. But one day we will play sardines again. Right, trampolining. Who said trampolining? Kelly, you said trampolining. Excellent. Okay, some people have got a trampoline that they can go on in the garden. Hats. Somebody said something to do with hats. I don't know, there's a charade. Take off the hat, that's what I'm being told. Right, we've got a very, very large production crew of one person behind the camera. Right, Kian, very good. Golf, excellent. We've got golf going on. Take off the performing hat, Paul. Baking, Jeanette. Hello, Jeanette. Good afternoon. Right, so we could do some baking, something I did the other day. I made some very nice banana buns, and they were very lovely, even if I do say myself. Mel has come up with drawing. Thank you very much, Mel. I'm going to put that up here. I'm running out of space very quickly. Drawing. Gemma. Poor old Gemma's doing the cleaning. Hello, Gemma. You're probably having a terrible time this afternoon if all you're doing is cleaning. Right, so let's... we've got cleaning going on in there. I wonder what we can be cleaning. Carol. Hello, Carol. How you doing? Right, singing. Oh, I wonder what you can say. It's quite nice that Carol has come up with singing. Are we going to be singing carols? That's the question. Right, so we've got singing there. Very good. Scarlett, are you trying to make me twerk? Right, I'm not sure twerking, which is a type of dancing. I think it's where you shuffle your bum like this and you make your unicorn wiggle. Right, fantastic. Alexandra. Hello, Alexandra. It's your first idea this afternoon. Skipping, I think you've put. Excellent. So you can skip. And then we've got Anthony. Brilliant idea, Anthony. Lego. All right, I've got a very short poem about Lego, which I'll share with you in a second. Yes, Anthony coming up with playing Lego, and I think we've got the lot. Yeah, I've got Jeanette's baking one. That's all good. Right, so you've given me loads. My goodness. Do you remember earlier on we said we don't know how to start? Whoa! All of these ideas all coming together. Now that is an amazing thing to all come together. All of those ideas have just arrived on our board. Now, Anthony, you mentioned earlier on about Lego. Now, if I look very carefully, I'm going to go out of shot for a second. I'm going to go over here. I've got some Lego just here. This is perfect, just on our side. This is, if you were watching yesterday's show, this is Marty McFly, right? A little Lego man of Marty McFly, right? Oh, he's getting even closer. Can you see him? Fantastic. He's our little Lego man, right? Because I've got Back to the Future Lego in our house. But if you look, if you look from very tiny way, you can't see him very much. And if I was to put him on the floor, and then I've got no shoes on today. Look, if I was to go and stand on him, it would be the worst pain in the world. And so I wrote a short poem about it. Play has finished for today. We've played with plastic blocks. The floor is now a death trap for those just in their socks. They may be brightly coloured with those funny little people, but if you get one underfoot, you'll find the pain is lethal. There you go. There are poems about everything, including poems about Lego. I'm going to put little Marty McFly. I'm going to put him up. No, I'm not going to put him up there. I'm going to put him down there. Right. So we've got all sorts of ideas. But looking at this, there are so many ideas. And writers, when they're writing, they don't use every single idea they have all of the time. If we used every single idea we had all the time, we would probably be writing forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and we'd never finish. And we know we've only got this amount of space. So what we've got to do as writers is we've got to see which words now jump out at us and which ones we can use altogether. We'll try and use as many as we possibly can in our poem, but we might have to be a little bit choosy. And that's the thing, because when we're speaking, we don't say every word that we think of, right? We've got probably around about 10,000 words in our head. Look, you can see them all in there, right? I don't use all of those words. Otherwise, I'd be going, good afternoon, hello, camera, table, how are you doing? Bored, pen, by name, Paul, hungry, rainbow, lovely, excellent, how are you doing? Good, wonderful. That was a lot of words and I didn't need to say nearly half of those. So when we're writing, we choose some words. So I'm going to choose a green and yellow rhino. A green and yellow rhino. A green and yellow rhino. Now, the first person to come up with a name will get their name in the poem, okay? So a green and yellow rhino. So very quickly, it's going to be literally the first person, and whichever one comes up on the board, we'll have. So a green and yellow rhino. So I've chosen green and yellow, just because they happen to be near each other, and I thought I quite like that. A green and yellow rhino called... should I call it a green and yellow rhino called, or maybe I could use the word named, or who was called? We'll have to see. I wonder what the name will be. And now I'm thinking about what this rhino is going to be doing. A green and yellow rhino who was hoolering, called, and this is where we're going to find out what our rhino's called, Tommy. Excellent. So... we've got Tommy the rhino. I don't know who came up with the idea for Tommy, but well done to whoever came up with Tommy. A green and yellow rhino who was hoolering called Tommy. Thank you very much, Emma. That was a brilliant idea. Okay, so now we've got to think, does anything rhyme with Tommy? Probably not. Bommy, mommy, sommy, wommy, lommy, crommy, bommy. It's a really tricky word to rhyme with. So maybe we're not going to rhyme with Tommy. Maybe a green and yellow rhino, maybe we'll rhyme with rhino instead. I know will rhyme with rhino. We'll put I know as our words. So I'm going to write that up here. So I've got a little note for myself. I know. Okay. A green and yellow rhino who was hoolering called Tommy. With a purple unicorn. A purple cleaning unicorn. It's a unicorn that does cleaning. A purple cleaning unicorn that I know, a green and with a purple cleaning unicorn that I know. So let's see if that does rhyme now. A green and yellow rhino who was hoolering called Tommy with a purple cleaning unicorn that I know. And Jeanette, oh, brilliant idea, dear Jeanette, right? It was cleaning, and that thing that we have down in the kitchen floor, what do we call it? We call it lino. Excellent. Cleaning, so we've got lino as a word now. My goodness. So we've got that word. We're going to use the word lino. We've used the word I know. The I know with a purple cleaning unicorn that I know on what colour lino should it be? Let's have a look. On pink. Let's go with pink lino. That would be a very bright kitchen, wouldn't it? The I know on pink lino. My goodness. So we've got lots and lots of rhyming words in there. Now, we've got our green and yellow rhino in there, who was hoolering called Tommy, with a purple cleaning unicorn that I know on pink lino. Now, what we could do now is we could change the rhymes around and see if what we could find a word to rhyme with now. A panda came in, I think. A panda came in. What colour panda could we have? Purple panda. Have we got a purple? Oh, we've had purple. Fantastic. Are there any other colours we've got up here? We've got any other colours? We've got pink pandas. We've got purple. Black panda. Which one? Somebody said black panda. Black panda. Black and cream panda. Oh, this is a slightly off-coloured panda. Maybe he's slightly dirtier than all the other pandas. Black and cream panda. Oh, hold on a minute. Black and cream panda. let's make sure we've got all those. So we've got cream and black. Black and clean panda. He was dirty. Who was dirty? Was dirty. Entered in. Because if it was dirty, it would need cleaning by the unicorn, wouldn't it? All right? So, black and cream panda, who was dirty, entered in, with an octopus on a, I need a colour. Give me one of the colours that we've had from up here. Orange. Let's go with orange, because that's a brilliant idea. Who said that? Was that Jemima said that? Excellent. Well done, Jemima. That's brilliant. So with an orange, on an orange bike. There we go. Who was dirty, entered in with an octopus. Octopus on an orange bike. My goodness, I'm just thinking about all of this. We've got rhinos, right? Unicorns, right? We've got a panda and an octopus. We've got cleaning going on. We've got hula-ing going on a bike. I think this is going to be quite a noisy place. Do you? Are there any words to come up with noise that you can think of that would rhyme with in? That's the thing. What can we think of that could rhyme with in? Let me have a little read here. Black and cream panda who was dirty entered in with an octopus on an orange bike. They were making... what's the word? What's a word that we can think of that rhymes with in? Or maybe we could use one of our words up here. What have we got? Oh, there's an idea coming from... din. What a brilliant word. Din. With an octopus on an orange bike, they were making such a din. Oh, that's amazing. Right, well, we've used up most of our paper. Oh, that Murray came up with that idea. Murray, thumbs up to you, my good friend. Excellent, that is wonderful. Well, let's have a look. We seem to have what looks like a finished poem. Let's have a read of it. Or more precisely, let's perform it with the performing hat on. A green and yellow rhino, who was hula-ing called Tommy, with a purple cleaning unicorn that I know on pink lino. There, black and cream panda, who was dirty, entered in, with an octopus on an orange bike. They were making such a din. Now that, ladies and gentlemen at home, I think you deserve yourselves rounds of applause, pats on backs, waves, cheers, all sorts of things. Parades. We'd have parades if we were allowed outside. All right? But you've created all of those brilliant words together. Now, there's some of you who are at home who are thinking, now hold on a minute. We didn't use otter, or golf, or drawing, or monkey, or twerking, or blue, or donkey, or war games, or cat and sardines, and all those other words. We didn't use them. Does that make them bad ideas? No, of course it doesn't. It doesn't make them bad ideas. It just means that as writers, when we come up with all of ideas, we just choose some of them. And sometimes we choose them because they're near to each other. Sometimes we choose them because they might rhyme with other things. Sometimes we might choose them because they link into other bits of our poem. And all of these other words, well, if we wanted to write new bits of our poem, then we could do that underneath. And maybe you could come up with some new lines from our words here that you could post in the comments as well. Maybe you've got lines about blue monkeys singing. Or maybe you've got lines about cats and hamsters eating sardines. Or maybe you've got a little bit about pigeons and penguins playing hide and seek. You could put all of these things together, mash them all up and create your own pieces of poetry. Now this, we will write this up and we will post this up on the Facebook page as our special poem for today. And that's going to be, it's been an absolute pleasure doing that with you this afternoon. I've had a great time. I'm hoping you've had a great time too. Right. Please remember, every Monday to Friday here on Poems with PJ, we'll be doing brand new poems. From Monday, we'll also be going back to our usual format. So poems that you write, if you can send them to us, we'll be reading those out on this broadcast. So if you send them to pauljenkinspoet@gmail.com, okay, and we will read your poems out. We'll also be sharing some of my poems. We'll also be sharing some poems by some very famous poets as well. Thank you so much for everybody joining in this afternoon. You should be really, really proud of yourself for what we've created there. And I am going to see you again very, very soon. Please remember to share this and spread the word as far as you can. We'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.